sports fans out there in the Tuiasosopo, to you, the individuals, part of the collective. Welcome to the OMSR Gen 4.0. I am your brief but concise host, Will, the alternative ESPN Sports Thrill. Think of this as like ESPNW. All right, briefly. See from a few of the Pi Kappa, Alpha, House Sweethearts, U of U Chapter Alpha Tau giving you props. No longer sporting the Red Sox beard. Couldn't stand it anymore. It's too damn warm in SoCal lately. Dwayne, darn that ultimate sports fan. Mascot to the OMSR. Graphic from the channel. And Kim Puck, the oracle to the sports gods. 25-5. But truth be told, I haven't asked him a question. Had time to ask him a question since Florida State and Clemson. All right, so talking briefly and concisely, second half of UW and BYU, and all the particulars going on. Chris Peterson out there, Tuiasosopo being the interim coach, Sarkisian going off so quickly. It was an interesting dynamic. It's not going to be this quickie sport rant of the segment, but Sarkisian goes off to USC to coach in their bowl, Las Vegas wise. Yet Chris Peterson, I think it's probably because they went to Hawaii, right? Boise State versus, who was it? Oregon State in Hawaii. The Hawaii Bowl. Didn't cover that here on the channel. All right, just a reminder, the sponsor of this show is the DMCA, Digital Millennium Copyright Act. It covers the fair use, thumbs up, standard, minimal use, and derivatives. So all the video highlights courtesy to ESPN and the respective universities. A little shout out to the NCAA. Everything else, over this way to the OMSR. Hey, you're noticing maybe, trying to be impartial doing a sports show. You're wearing a certain particular color scheme that might indicate you're for one side or the other. Yeah, well, look at the Utah State Northern Illinois game and you'll understand why. Being a U of U alum, the one thing, I went into all that already. This sweatshirt is from the 1992 National Championship of UW from their 91 year. And you'll see, based on the, there's a sound effect. I'm already, transporting out of here. It was made in America. What? Yes. Clothing can be made in America. You're still paying $45 for a sweatshirt like you did back then, right? So, like, the loss of American jobs, I can go on and on and on. But on the quickie sport round of the segment, can we not have this game, which used to be the Emerald Bowl, move to Candlestick Park?
Welcome back to the Fight Hunger Bowl, part of ESPN's presentation of Capital One Bowl Week. Here in San Francisco at AT&T Park, BYU trying to win its 5th consecutive bowl game, but trailing Washington by 5 at halftime. Back to Brian Greasy, Tom Luganville down on the field. I'm Dave Pash. And Brian, it seemed for a while like BYU could do whatever it wanted offensively until it got into the red zone. Almost 300 yards total offense, but too many mistakes in the kicking game.
Certainly have. They got to fix the red zone errors, but they've got to fix in more immediate fashion their special teams. Kickoff coverage has been atrocious. They've been out of their lanes. They've been blocked at times. You give John Ross this kind of space, and he's going to make you pay every time. Then they try to kick it short, and Collier takes it. They're again out of their lanes. This return sets up the Bishop Sankey touchdown, which you just see a couple of sick cuts right here that I don't know that any defense that BYU could employ here would have stopped him. Kyle Van Noy has a shot at him, and you got to worry if you're BYU in the second half.
Following tonight's game, Keith Price, senior quarterback, playing his final game with a nice run on first down, about 4 yards. We take a look at our first half stats brought to you by Mobile One Extended Performance.
Is where he is now, and now he's finishing out his career in the big game.
Here's Severian Jenkins. We really haven't talked much about him because he has not touched the football tonight, only a couple of yards there. Tyler Beck on the tackle, the John Mackey Award winner for the top tight end. He wins that award, but his second team All Pac-12.
I think sometimes what happens is you give guys awards for their body of work rather than what's happened this year. I think Eric Ebron, even Jason Morrow from Texas Tech, may have had a better year this year than Spartan Jenkins, but I think based on what he's done in his career, he got the award.
Ebron in North Carolina. Trying to get outside here is Collier, and he's bumped out by Sky Pove. So third down coming up for Washington.
We saw that happen with A.J. McCarron, right? In the SEC, he was an honorable mention All-SEC, but he was a runner-up in the Heisman Trophy. So I think, you know.
He's a talented tight end, but his numbers, Severian Jenkins, down by more than half in terms of catches this year. Price has had some more weapons on the outside to throw to, and obviously Sankey gets a lot of touches as Price throws to the end zone to Severian Jenkins, who makes the catch for the Washington touchdown. .6'6", 280 pounds. He can run. You saw the acrobatic play there to make the catch in the end zone for his 8th touchdown catch of the season. New head coach of Washington football with Steve Sarkisian taking the USC job, as Chris Peterson did an excellent job at Boise State, winning 2 Fiesta Bowls, a 92-12 record. He was named Huskies coach 3 weeks ago, and he's been involved in the recruiting, but allowing the present staff to handle bowl preparation, as Sankey was short there. And second one gets the first down here on a gain of 8. What are your thoughts on the hire for Washington and the future for the Huskies with Peterson at the helm?
Well, I think that resume speaks for itself. Chris Peterson's been one of the most sought-after coaches in all of college football the last 3 or 4 years, and he's had his opportunities. You know, to quote him, this opportunity was about timing and fit. And I think it's a great marriage for Washington. It's a great marriage for Chris Peterson. And I think as he comes in, he knows what he's stepping into, right? This is not Boise State where, you know, you got to get up for Fresno State, Nevada. This is the Pac-12, second best conference.
Big flag down, back at the 5-yard line. Now Price has limited his mistakes this year, only 5 interceptions coming in, but not sure where that pass was going.
Well, they're trying to run a flood route to the field. Looks like Keith Price comes up a little bit gimpy. They're trying to run the flood route, and they had a clear on the outside, and Price just throws the ball up for grabs.
Personal foul, number 90 of the receiving team, BYU. 15 yards added from the end of the run. First down.
Well, that's a mistake there by Bronson Kafusi, picking up that penalty after the interception return.
Here it is on the outside. They're going to run a little clear route, and Rob Daniels is going to sit there and read the eyes of the quarterback. And it looked like Keith Price was trying to make a play there to Mickens, but just an ill-advised throw. And take a look at what happened to Price after this. Oh yeah, that's a dirty hit there from Kafusi. You don't come in like that. You don't hit the guy in the head, number 1, and then with your head intentionally. That should be a personal foul and
it should be, you know, a penalty before the interception. I mean, they totally screwed that one up.
So it should have taken the interception away as Taysom Hill is tackled. Let's get Jerry Austin here for his take on this. Didn't that happen on the throw there, Jerry?
That's not what was called on the penalty. That is a foul there. That was a helmet-to-helmet hit. Number 90, after the play's over, makes another late hit down the field at the 5-yard line, and that's the one that was penalized.
They missed the big one, which would have given Washington the ball back. Now a pass to the end zone, an adjustment made, but Hoffman can't come up with it incomplete. And then Keith Price shaken up with a rib injury. Price went back to the Washington locker room, so after the rib injury, Siler Miles replaces Price at quarterback. Miles has played some this year, 56 attempts, highly recruited out of the Denver area. Gonna hand it off here to Jesse Collier, who's Sankey's backup, and he takes it to the 49 of BYU for about 5 yards.
Yeah, we were talking with some of the coaching staff for Washington last night about Siler Miles. You see what he did against Oregon State. Pretty efficient night. He came in through three touchdowns late in the UCLA game. He's got a ton of talent. He's got a strong arm, and he can run. It's just a question of seasoning for Siler Miles and maturity level. He throws the football all the way there is a good decision, but he's been in some situations, and there's no question that the future is going to be built around Siler Miles. I think if Keith Price does not come back into this game, which it doesn't look like he's going to be able to, you got a lot of respect for the way that he has handled himself, the injuries that he's dealt with, the way that he handled the news of Steve Sarkisian leaving. Keith Price came to Washington for Steve Sarkisian. They developed a close friendship, and the way that he handled those news, the young guys that watched him handle that news and be a leader the last month, I think you got to give a lot of credit to Keith Price.
First attempt of the ball game. And he puts it. And Hill will throw it into the end zone. A couple guys down there. And it is incomplete. Cody Hoffman was there. Then Washington converged and broke up the pass. And the Huskies will take over on down. Well, Marcus Tuiasosopo looks like he's going to get a win as an interim coach. He won the 2001 Rose Bowl against Purdue. He was the MVP. The Rose Bowl game, was the Offensive Player of the Year in the Pac-10. Part of 12 straight Washington quarterbacks to play in the NFL. He beat Drew Brees that year, and his future uncertain. Today he's working with only 5 full-time assistants because of Steve Sarkisian leaving for USC. It looks like the defensive coordinator Justin Wilcox likely to go to SC to join Sarkisian. Where will Tuiasosopo end up? Will it be here in Washington or here with Washington?
Peterson, you better keep him.
One more offensive.
Looks like how Urban Meyer kept my walk-on coach, Kyle Whittingham.
1 year, but Steve brought him here for a reason, because Marcus is an outstanding football coach. He's done a very nice job with Keith Price, and he's the one that's kind of been the mentor to Siler Miles and getting him ready to play this year. So people forget how good of a player Marcus Tuiasosopo was. He was one of the first. I think he was the first player, Division I, to throw for 300 yards and run for 200 in a game against Stanford. That's an unbelievable feat. And he's just a tremendous athlete. But what I remember about him, he was a competitor.
Was a second-round pick of the Raiders and played behind Rich Gannon and John Gruden. Here's Collier on second down 10 with a stiff arm. Stay in bounds and get the first down. Big interception here in the first turnover by BYU.
And that's really the first mistake from Taysom Hill. Timu's just dropping in a 3-deep 5-under zone. He's right here in the middle, and I don't think that Taysom Hill ever saw him. He had traffic in front of him trying to force that ball in, and Timu, the beneficiary of an easy interception. He doesn't have an issue, but the execution here of the Gatorade bucket, they better hurry up.
You know, in the back of Marcus's mind, he knows it's coming. You just can't look for it. You don't look afraid in this situation.
Well,
here's Hoffman on the catch.
He's got the hoodie back there too, which is going to collect a lot of ice and water. That's not a good look if you're going to get the bucket.
Notice how all the assistants that were around him have now distanced themselves from him as well. They want no part. It got cold. It was around 60 when the game started. He might be under 50 right now. Taysom Hill throwing to Hoffman, who gets the first down and steps out. Stop the clock with 23 seconds left. BYU will finish the year 8-5. And their 4-game bowl win streak will come to an end. We got some great games coming up for you this weekend. Over the next 9 days, the BCS National Championship, Florida State and Auburn. Gets the bath and
right on. It's a smile to your face.
That's got to feel great as an alum, put in a difficult situation, and to be there for these kids. And give credit to Marcus Tuiasosopo and all the Washington players and what staff they have left, doing a great job.
On the outside, he's laughing. On the inside, he's saying, man, this is cold. Here's Hoffman, final seconds. Hoffman's still fighting. Down he goes, and the game is over. Washington wins it 31-16. Marcus Tuiasosopo gets the win as Washington finishes the year 9-4. First 9-win season since 2000.